If you are a fan of mysteries, then I am more than sure you're gonna love astronomy and cosmology. It contains the mysteries of the universe, the greatest mysteries of the universe. My bad. But among all these great mysteries the universe contains, what is the biggest one of them all? In my opinion, it's quasars. Most people think quasars are some scientific mumbo jumbo thing of the universe which no one needs to know, but I disagree. I think quasars are actually quite fascinating and quite easy to understand, as hopefully I'll explain to you. So, first of all, let's start with what quasar stand for. Quasar is short for oops. Quasar is short for quasi-stellar radio sources. It was named such because when quasars were first discovered in 1960s approximately, it was discovered to have emitted a wavelength that was equivalent to that of radio wavelengths, hence the name quasi-stellar radio sources. But what exactly is a quasar? The best way to know that is to study a black hole. Now, I assume most of you are familiar with the concept of a black hole, but just in case you don't know, a black hole is a celestial body in the center of galaxies which consume everything that comes across it, be it stars, planets, moons, asteroids, whatever. Nothing escapes a black hole, not even light. So, as you can see, this is a black hole, but before the black hole, there is this entire circular area which you can consider as an accretion disk. Accretion disk. So when stars are in the accretion disk of a black hole, they start moving at unfathomable speeds, extremely large amounts of speed, and the friction generated when this motion occurs is also extremely large and gives off tremendous amounts of heat. And like most hot objects, they glow. And when it glows, it can be considered a quasar. So let me just show that here. So when it travels at high speed, the entire thing glows, and hence it can be considered a quasar. Now quasars are considered one of the brightest things in the universe. Why is that? Well, let me explain to you through this photo. This is a photo of the first quasar ever discovered, 3C273. Now, this is a star, and this is the quasar. Now, as you can clearly see from this picture, both seem to be of the same brightness. If that is so, then why would we say quasars are the brightest things in the universe? Well, it can be said like this. The star, hang on, the star is a few 100,000 light years away. Which means that roughly goes to 9 into, oops, sorry, it's not 9, it's 9.5. So if you let me, 9.5 into 10 to the power 12 into 5, 17 kilometers away. So that's pretty far and it's very bright. But our friend the quasar, believe it or not, our friend the quasar is a few billion light years away. Light years away, which makes it which makes it as far as 9.5 into 10 to the power 21 kilometers. I mean, like, it's way further than a star, yet it grows at the same brightness. So you can just take an approximation of how bright it is. And in other ways, you could say that the quasar has an apparent magnitude of minus 26.7, which makes it 4 trillion times brighter than our sun. Let me write that down. 4 trillion times brighter than the sun. But the most fascinating thing about quasars are the fact that since they are so much behind us in distance, you could say time is slower for them. Hence, when we observe a quasar, it is actually something that is happening a billion years ago. What we observe are the happenings of something billion years ago. So we watch like something that's happening long ago in time. And if that does not fascinate you, you lack emotional capacity. Anyways, moving onwards. How does a quasar form? Quasars usually form when two galaxies collide, because when two galaxies collide, the black holes will have a lot of matter like stars and planets to feed off of to create quasars. So, for example, this is the Milky Way. I'm sure you all know this. Milky Way. And this is the Andromeda. So when these two collide with one another, then the black holes would have more materials to feed on, and hence they'll all come into the accretion disk and release high amounts of energy, making it glow and hence forming quasars. The cycle goes on. Now, in case you're worried that the Milky Way will collide with the Andromeda galaxy and we'll all die, well, do not worry, because this is not due for another 8 billion years, so we're all safe for now. Anyways, this was my test video on quasars. I hope you like it, and I hope this has piqued up your interest in a subject which you never studied before.